Testing, testing. Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, thank you.
Woo!
Yeah, you rushed back, right?
Got our zucchini. Yeah, I did.
What
Made it
why
back.
have you got a zucchini?
It was someone was just handing them out for free from their garden, so I took one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd
Good
call
evening,
that a
Greg.
courgette.
Courgette?
A courgette is what I would call that, not a zucchini, because I'm English.
I've
Oh, yeah.
never heard the word courgette before.
Courgette. Yeah, I don't know what it's one of those things like what's the other one? The herb. You call it cilantro, and we call it something else. Coriander. We call it coriander.
The other one is capsicum. I don't know if you call it capsicum or green bell pepper. You call it pepper? So I mean,
just call it
we call it pepper too. My parents they're from India, I guess they call it capsicum.
Yeah, I've heard it called that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, so did Chelsea win today? I haven't even checked.
They did. 2-0.
Oh yeah.
Mudryk scored.
Damn. I was hoping they did bad. Then we'd be off the hook.
No, they scored in the 17th and then the 18th minute through Mudryk and Broha. So two players that have not really performed. So, yeah, Jackson was suspended, so Broha took his chance. Broja. Hey, there he is.
There he is. Testing. Hold on. Could you say something again, Cultured?
Hello. Oh, let me speak properly rather than doing the stupid voice.
We're on the stream, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Wireless cam. Hold on, let's see what the hat here is looking like.
Hello.
Hello.
How the fuck are we doing then?
What the fuck are we doing? I'm fucking loving it, mate.
Hat hair? No, maybe. Just go hat.
I mean,
Yeah, whatever.
does look a little bit like a toupee right now, your haircut. It's got a very fake sort of front.
I went
Got a
into
bit
a
of the old
store and
guy.
asked, how much is that wig? He said it's a small price to pay. That was better this time, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I butchered it the
You
other
did say
time.
it better.
Yeah,
You did absolutely butcher it the other time.
Yeah.
It's all in the delivery, mate.
Yeah.
No.
All right, hold on. Just setting up the camps.
Yeah, no rush.
Yeah, sure.
I need to grab some water anyway before we begin.
So for those live on Twitch, we'll just say a quick congratulations to Hoff. Obviously not here this week.
Oh, yeah.
The arrival of his twins. Another 91st minute host who's got twins.
Yeah. Joins
Must
the
be
twins
something in the
club.
water. Yeah.
Twins.
Which one of you is next? Triplets.
Cut.
Man, I'm down. I'll take twins. I'll take triplets.
You would?
I feel like it'd be fun, man. I don't know. Obviously, it'd be rough.
half a five-a-side team sorted right away.
Yeah.
Find a team that plays a back like 3-5-2 and you've got the whole back line.
Yeah.
That's true. That is
Or you
very
could
true.
do, CDM and 2 CMs.
Yeah. Look at that. Can you read that?
Is that a
That's
Rolls
funny,
Well,
Really?
Royce?
it's backwards for us.
Is it backwards for you? Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's my new business cards at work.
Did you take a new job then?
You work for Rolls Royce?
No, this is. Yeah, did you not know that?
I didn't know that. My uncle worked for Rolls Royce, I think.
Oh, yeah. I work for Rolls-Royce Aerospace, yeah.
He's a Newcastle fan. Alan Shearer.
Does he live in the UK?
He's in India, but he goes to UK often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's one of those Indians, you know.
Mordecai says sounds planned. So hang on, Mordecai. You're suggesting, just before we get started, you're suggesting that Hoff timed the birth of his children so he didn't have to be here to listen to you prattle on about Liverpool Tottenham. Is that what you're suggesting?
Luckily, we don't actually have to listen to Mordecai prattle on about Liverpool Tottenham.
Cart does on the Friday phone-in.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, It's much more tame when you get them on the. You know, the text is like a.
Keyboard warriors, man.
There's no. You can't judge the emotion of a text.
Exactly.
Of a written message.
All right, I'll be back in a minute. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I just can't wait for.
I'm just messing with you, Mordecai. Obviously, as well.
I can't wait for Mordecai to hear my take on it. That it was a completely legitimate goal.
It might have been. All right, we made it. We are here. Okay. Setting up the scenes. There we go. Could you say something, Cultured?
Yeah. How you doing, mate? Everything good? How was work?
Good. Oh, you know what it is? I'm new at work, right? I just started this job.
Yeah.
And they just hired someone new, and I'm like training the new guy. So I had to like do a third of his work today.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And you're
That's
new
why.
as well, so it's like blind
And I'm
leading the
new.
blind, right?
Exactly. But I mean, I can handle it, you know? By the way, I think I've officially given up my dream of playing for Manchester United.
Yeah?
Now. Yeah, today.
Just today? Even though we're at one of our worst ebbs in recent history. And you're more likely to get picked for us.
That's actually true, isn't it? That's true. Oh man, something is muffed up. Oh, there it is. Okay. I forgot I changed things for last week's show briefly. Because I had to make it too. Okay, I think we're good. Goody, good.
You know what made Man United's game on Saturday, for me, Saturday night, do you know what made that more annoying? Is that my team, when we played Saturday afternoon before that game, had a very similar game where we battered the opposition and just couldn't score. And we lost 2-1. They had 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals, and we had like 24 shots, 12 on target, 0 goal, 1 goal. And I hit the bar from a corner, which was really irritating because I never score because I'm a centre back. I went up from the corner and hit the bar.
Sounds like the league's going well though. Somewhere.
What, for our team?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, so we're top of the Thursday night league, which is 9-a-side. We've played 6, lost 1, won 5 in that. And then Saturday is 3 games into the season, 1, 2, lost 1. So not too bad.
Mudrik scored today. He's ahead of Anthony in the tier list now.
I mean,
was
Anthony
running
has
late.
Premier League goal.
Hey, what's up, bro?
everyone.
Did you watch any Ryder Cup?
I watched it I watched pretty much all of it, other than when Man United were playing. So it was
pretty good.
Fantastic.
All right,
It was amazing.
I'm back.
It would be my. If I could pick a player of the week that was involved in the golf, I would. But it's a football show, so.
Alrighty.
Oh, sorry, cats are yawning. Get those out.
Don't set me off.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the titles. Let me put those in real quick.
Yeah, I put not a lot of thought into them.
Oh, those are the best. I'll figure out the rest of it. All right. Okay, here we go. Shall we? Bring in this shit show?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, one last thing. Oh no. Update the ticker.
Everyone in chat ready?
Seatbelts on.
Give us a woo. Let's get the crowd going.
All right. And good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 83 of the 91st Minute. Back at it again on a beautiful Monday evening here on Twitch and YouTube. Please follow and subscribe if you're here. Milo, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Very good. Doing pretty good. Cultured, welcome. How you been?
Hello. I'm all right. Good to be back after a 2-week hiatus. Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you go? You went to Hong Kong and...
Well, no, just work. I was in Hong Kong for a weekend, but it was work been getting in the way. So, and I thought I'd better show my face. Man United lost. I haven't been on the show 2 times after Man United lost, so I want to prove it's not. I just don't.
Rumors were abound.
So,
yeah.
I've got to quell the rumors, haven't I?
There was a lot of gossip amongst the community, and
yes. But I'm here. I'm back, and I'm happy to be back.
Don't worry, I fought valiantly in your absence.
Good.
What else before we get into it, guys. We're gonna get into it actually, so might as well just save it for this segment. What a shit show this weekend, huh? A bit of a shit show. Maybe not for you.
Everything's been
pretty uneventful for me, football wise, yes, but it has been a bit of a shit show. Yeah. I'm
in general, it's been a controversial weekend, I think you can call it.
Yeah. Do you guys have your player of the weeks in mind?
I do. Yeah. I think Milo and I have put ours in the chat.
We have.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me check mine.
I think mine's probably the obvious one of the weekend.
Wait, where did you put it?
General.
In general.
Oh, in general.
Yeah.
Oh, I was eyeing up blank. Oh, that's who I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I thought because it's the obvious one. Of how people perform. So I can change if you want.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll change. That's all right. I'll go with what we just discussed.
The Korean guy. Alrighty, let's get into our first segment. Let's pull the Band-Aid off. Okay. There we go. Crystal Palace put in a resilient display to overcome Manchester United and secure a 1-0 victory, recording their third win in 5 Premier League visits to Old Trafford. I believe Roy Hodgson has now gone 5 consecutive. He's the first manager to go 5 consecutive matches unbeaten at Old Trafford. Rough one. Some say injuries, some say bad performance. Cultured, what do you say?
It's a bit of everything. I don't think we deserve to lose the game. It was a very good goal from Anderson that got Crystal Palace the win. I feel like Milo's trying to I can't tell if it's a cough or stifling a laugh already this early in the show.
It's a cough. It's a cough. I promise you. I was sick last week. I'm still tail ending that. The cough is with me. So yeah, I am not stifling a laugh. Although I may before the end of this segment.
That's fine. I think it's a bit of a mix of everything. Poor performances, substitutions are a bit strange. Injuries are taking their toll. There's just a lack of cohesion from the whole squad, it seems, that at the back end of last year we seem to get over that. Like at the end of last year, if you think about how we finished the season, winning the Carabao Cup, okay, it's not the trophy everyone wants to win, but we did win it, which was a good step for Ten Hag, getting top 4, the team performing reasonably well, looking like they were settling into Ten Hag's tactics. It seems to have all just disappeared over the summer, and it's very, very strange to see that. I think, Cart's favourite player, Marcus Rashford, is being very greedy on the ball, and against Palace, he looked like he was trying to pass it more, but in the wrong situations. A lot of the time, he was looking to pass it down the line for overlapping or underlapping runs, and it's just a bit meh. And I don't want to blame the manager. I think some of it falls at his door, some of it falls at Erik Ten Hag's door or step, or whatever you want to call it. But it's the root. It does seem to be the whole club, and I don't think any manager is going to come in and do anything different while the club is in a state that it is. And that's not just the Glaziers, although I think the ownership is probably the biggest problem that needs to be dealt with. But I don't know. It's the whole Greenwood, Sancho, Anthony. Players, injuries. There's something just fundamentally wrong. Old Trafford falling apart. It's like the whole club is in a bit of a funk, and I don't know how you turn it around. And I don't want another manager to lose their job just because the whole club's in a funk. I don't think that's how it works. But the game itself was just a bit meh. There's not much else to say. Roy Hodgson clearly has Man United's number. The manager I picked to be my dad in our little short segment was Roy Hodgson, so my dad doing the job. But credit to him. It was a wonder strike from Anderson, a little flick off Diego Dalot. I don't think Onana was saving it anyway, so it's just a tough one. I think Højlund will come good. I do think Højlund will come good. I think Onana is a good goalkeeper. I think we are getting to the point where signing seems to be a little bit more hit than miss in my mind, but they do need a bit of time. But yeah, I'm just sort of rambling. So, Car?
Yeah, no, it's a tough one. This loss feels the most like a loss, where we're expected to win, even with the injury. Like, we have a lot of injuries. Anthony, Diallo, Maino, Malaysia, Martinez, Reguilon, Sancho, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. Right, that's a lot of injuries. Backup left. Both starting left backs. We signed a left back on loan. He got injured. Now we have to play Amrabat there. That's just not a good spot there. And now Martinez is apparently going to have to undergo operation, so he's got another couple months out. So it's just not a good situation on the injury front. But besides the injuries, I would have imagined this was the first game, even with the injuries, that we would have been expected to win. And to be fair, Crystal Palace had a lot of injuries as well. So for that reason, this one stings probably more than any loss this season so far, personally. Especially after that midweek performance where we played so nicely. Like, it was just kind of genuinely entertaining. Obviously, a changed Crystal Palace side, etc., but still, it's nice to see some players tracking back, sprinting, etc. I don't want to sound like a broken record about Marcus Rashford. Okay, but now the masses are slowly seeing the light. Let's just put it that way, right? The people who have been like, oh, it's not Rashford's fault. It's the system. It's this. It's that. They're finally seeing the light, And all I can say is, I told you so. Okay, that's all I got to say to those people. But it's really rough watching him play right now because, you know, we have no attacking cohesion. Last year, or at the beginning of this season, I think Milo asked me, do you expect to be challenged, because we finished third, do you expect to be challenging City or for the title? And like an Arsenal, like I compared Arsenal and us as like the attacking mechanisms, the attacking formulas are just there in Arsenal and they're there in City. They're not there at United, right? It's just hit and hope. Person on the line calls it hand grenade football, right? You just kind of throw it up there and then hope something happens. So until that changes, I think Extreme made a good point. Ten Hag is trying to play possession football with a team that was made to be a counterattacking football, counterattacking football. And Rashford is a counterattacking player. Bruno, you could argue, is counterattacking as well. But I thought that was an interesting point, and you get the sense that Ten Hag is trying to impose this system of possession, etc. But we just don't have the ball playing wingers. Obviously, with Anthony and Sancho, Greenwood, obviously issues. We don't have the ball playing wingers to play that football, and Rashford's unfortunately going to take a lot of the heat because he's our best player. We just put our faith in him, a huge contract, quote unquote best player. I think Luke Shaw's a massive hole as well. He's in England's major tournaments. He's a key part of their chance creation. He's a decent footballer as well, but I don't know. It's rough. I mean, it's going to sound like excuses, but it is what it is. It's Palace. We should have won. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, the bottom line is we should have won. I think the injuries are having an effect because Amrabat has only played 20 minutes in central midfield next to Casemiro, and Casemiro looked infinitely better in those 20 minutes when Amrabat was in there with him, and now sort of shoehorning him into left back because of the injuries isn't helping. But I can't disagree with anything you said. I think he wants to play this possession pressing style, and we're not having the squad to do it. Sorry, Milo, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I guess a couple of questions I've got for you guys then would be, is it not incumbent on the manager to utilize what he does have? I mean, no one has every single player that they want every year. So, if Rashford's strengths lie in X, surely the manager needs to build his game plan how to best utilize said skill X. You know what I mean? Like I just So to put a lot of your woes on Rashford, I'm not saying that you're saying everything is Rashford's fault, but to put a lot of your woes on one player just seems a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, by the way.
No, I know, and I mean, I'm not saying Cart is either. Obviously, Cart just has singled out Rashford because we've talked about Marcus a lot, and he has something. He shows glimpses of it in almost every game, but to be consistently good, he had that one sort of blue or purple spell or whatever last season, right? Where people are like, okay, Rashford's really. He was your best player, yeah, or now he's finally arrived, even, because I think he's always been a little bit inconsistent, and he seems to show up against Arsenal every time we play you, so that's annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, no. So I guess my question is, like, isn't it? I know you've got injuries, and that is part, but is it not? I think a lot of questions have to go to the manager at the moment. And two-part question, really. You had mentioned the Glazers. Like, what is your issue with the Glazers with respect to the on-field results right now? What have they done to contribute, to contribute to you being upset with them about the current on-field results?
I mean, I'm happy to take the Glazer. I'll let Cart talk about Rashford and stuff. I'll do the Glazer stuff because I know that Cart isn't as anti-Glazer as I am.
Well,
but I work in a big corporation. We just discussed it. Like, I work for Rolls-Royce, huge corporation, global, and there is an element of whatever is happening at the top filters down through everybody. And if there is no accountability at the top for maintaining standards, then that can filter down. And the manager is there to try and enforce accountability. But if people look up and see, well, our stadium's falling apart, our change room isn't as good as it should be, there isn't the investment that all these other clubs are doing, the owners are taking out more money than they're putting in, well, they haven't put any money, ever. That's the problem, right? They've only ever taken it out commercially. It filters down. It's all, in Rolls-Royce, we call it casting a shadow. It's nonsense, high performance wording. But that's what it is. If a leader casts a bad shadow, then the lower down the rungs you go, other people think they can get away with it. Because that's what the leadership is showing you in the company, in the club. But that's what I believe it is. And I think there is an element around, if you look at how much money owners have put into the club, Man United come rock bottom of that list because the Glaziers have never put money in and taken it out.
But not in player purchases, though.
Well, no, they have. There's money there, but it's not their money. It's the club's money, and that the club would have more money to invest in better training facilities, younger players, things like that. But
commercially, and you're talking more about the money into the club for that side, because they have money has been spent on players.
Even if I take the money, I totally agree with you. So I'll take the money away from it. I think the attitude they give off as owners filters through down to the CEO, filters through down into non-playing staff, filters down into playing staff, filters down. And the attitude from the Glazers is, we're just going to keep it running enough to make as much money. And that's not the attitude that any other Premier League club has, as far as I can see. I don't think there is another Premier League club that has that attitude from anyone above the manager that is just running it just to make enough money. They want it to make money and be successful. And that's my issue with it.
I can only speak from my Arsenal experience in that, and there were definitely question marks about that with the Conkeys for a while, and I think they've answered those.
And it matched up with Arsenal's poorest run of form, potentially?
Yeah, I think still we were dealing with an end of an era and all that shit as well to contend with. But yes. Yeah,
so that's my take on the Glazers. Even if we take the money away from it, I do have the belief that a whole company or a whole football club or something like that runs how the owners are showing it should be run, and that filters down. And that's my main problem with the Glazers, even if you take the money aside, is their attitude to it.
So I see that, but then also, I guess my only counterpoint to that would be Ten Hag is very public about his standards. Yeah. Right. And the players are not meeting his standards. So again, that's why there has to be question marks about him at the moment.
I think he's going to get to the point soon enough where he's chucking in the youngsters. I mean, he's played Hannibal, and he was impressed by Hannibal. He's played Amid Diallo, he's played Palestri, who I thought was one of our better players before he got subbed off, and that's probably a fitness issue because he's not played first-team football a lot. And I think that's going to happen more and more to make the senior players realise you're not safe. But we've spoken about this before, right? It's a tough one because you don't know what's happening in training. If the players are performing in training and Ten Hag thinks they're training well and it gets to the pitch and then they freeze, they're not doing the tactics he wants, then he needs to give them a bollocking. But I'll let Cart answer a bit now because I'm rambling again.
Yeah, Cart, you've got to take the Rashford part and whatever else you want to chime in on there.
just to refresh about the manager adjusting the system to the players he has. That was what you were talking about, right?
In certain positions, yes.
So Rashford. So I think the system is getting Rashford in great positions. I think any talented left winger would be happy to play in the system, given the amount of touches and chances that Rashford's getting. There's a lot of people talking about he doesn't have enough help. Maybe the left back position, Luke Shaw and him had a bit of a connection. That's no longer there. That could be a bit of it, but there are some. If you look at his game, and I watched this game and the Tottenham Liverpool game this weekend, and every time Rashford gets the ball, and he tries to be direct, he is just blind to the rest of the field, it seems like. So I think he's gotten into this habit of, I have to do everything. I have to do, I have to create the goals. I have to do everything. And he's not using his teammates as much. There's sometimes when he makes runs down the wing, kind of Martinelli-esque. When he plays like that, he's very effective, right? When he does things where he's just an out-and-out winger, uses his pace, which is, superior to almost every other, that's his probably his biggest attribute, his pace, and he uses his pace to get by defenders and cross a ball in. That's when he's most effective. But he wants to cut inside and try to do these Ronaldo-esque, dribbles and shoot from outside the box when there's players running in and stuff like that. So I called the purple patch, anyways. But with Ten Hag, I think he is getting the most out of him. And and I think out of the back we're playing possession, but I think there is a counter, like on a change of possession and transition, we still want a counter attack. So with Hollywood and Rashford and Casemiro trying to play long balls, Bruno trying to play long balls, I thought Mason Mount had a very good game, which is he's gonna he'll go a little unnoticed because he's playing in like a deeper midfield role. So he's going to be pretty crucial for us the next couple of months. But I think the system is set up for people like Rashford to get their touches, to play their, make their dribbles, make their passes. But his decision making is so poor right now. Had we somehow won this game, it may not be as big of a topic, but it since we didn't, and Rashford, someone didn't save us somehow, or some random penalty, or some, something, it's a bigger topic.
I think it's a lot of it is got to be it's the consecutive home losses, right? I think that is something that, Old Trafford is seen as this place where that doesn't happen. Right, and
it hadn't happened for 51 games.
Yeah,
This is our worst start since 1989 in the Prem. We've lost 4 of our first 7. Lost 4 of our first 7.
And interestingly, the last time you lost 2 consecutive home league games was Liverpool and Man City in October and November 2021, which was the last 2 home league games under Ole.
Yeah, I mean,
I just thought it was an interesting tidbit.
That's not as bad as losing to Palace, but on the topic of the Glazers,
I know.
I totally get what you're saying, Cultured, and I didn't really think about that, just the, how that attitude can trickle down. They've made a lot of money, right? So, the money we've spent on transfers is through all the commercial success. Ed Woodward for 10 years, he's not a football man, he's a businessman. And that's what, and unfortunately, and people are gonna, can disagree with me here, Rashford is a what's the word I'm looking for? Blockbuster type player, right? He's commercial player. Yeah. He's a commercial player, right? He's gonna attract a lot of attention, a lot of fanboys. Rashford's got a lot of fanboys. All the people he helped, which is great. I'm not taking anything away from that. All of his social work, it all adds up. It all adds up to make Rashford, and he's the number 10 for Manchester United, the great Manchester United. But maybe it's just gonna be like this for a while. It's just we're just gonna be a bit tepid, lukewarm for a while. Maybe in another 10 years we'll have something. Who knows?
Well, it's very interesting. So just while we're touching on the Glazers, the reason it's now come out from the numbers that the reason why this year is the year they've looked for investment and potentially selling the club is because it's going to be the first financial year that they can't withdraw dividends from the club because it's not making enough profit. So as owners, this is the first year in their tenure that they can't withdraw money as profit for them and solely them. So that's interesting.
I respect it though. What an investment! How much did they buy it for?
100%.
What an
nothing.
investment.
They bought it on debt, right? They bought it on the debt of the stadium. They didn't pay any of their money up front.
Like $6 billion or something. Billion? It's a value at that's
as a business investment. You've got to respect it.
But let's also. There are only 2 clubs in the Premier League probably where it isn't a business investment. Like every businessman I've ever met is in business to make money. Like this isn't like a unique thing. It's the unique thing is clubs where that doesn't really matter, like City and Newcastle, I guess, with the money that they have behind them. Like the norm is that the owners are in it to make some money, right? Because that is business 101. Like,
The difference I think is that Man City and Newcastle aside, because obviously they are freaks of nature in terms of money in the Premier League, I think even the Cronkies have turned around and are now showing a bit more respect for the club and want it to do, and have noticed that it doing well makes them more money. The owner of like Brentford and Brighton are Brentford and Brighton fans. I think Brentford's recently been sold actually, but Brighton is owned by a Brighton fan. Yes, he's a businessman and he wants to make money, but there is still that inherent passion that he wants that team to do well, whereas that's just not. The Glaziers,
exactly.
The only time they spend money, the only time we've heavily invested in money, generally in transfers, is when we've not reached the top four. They invest to get us back into the top four, get the Champions League money, get the profit, get the new Adidas contract, and then the investment doesn't match what we could do to move to the next level. And I don't want to bring it down to money because, like I said, I think it's deeper than money, and I believe in that cultural filtering down of attitude, and I believe that heavily. So,
and the fan-owned thing is, I agree, is out there still, but it's so rare now. And it used to be, the majority of clubs were in that position where the people on the board were heavily involved with the club from childhood. They were childhood fans. Their dad, their granddad was involved, and it's gone away from that as more money has come in. It's attracted people with more money to want to buy it because they can see ways to make more money, and it's all money.
And
which is,
I also think fan-owned clubs. Let's money.
Exactly.
If a fan-owned club got all the way to the Premier League and it had, I don't know, 1,000 shareholders which were fans of that club, and they had been with it all the way since the beginning, and then Sheikh Jassim comes in and says, "I'm going to give you $6 billion for that club." That's £600,000 for each of those fans. Like, as a normal person, are you going to turn that down? Like, I think that's why I think fan-owned clubs can't exist in the Premier League, because it just wouldn't get to that point. They would be so successful, someone would have bought it for a business profit and business investment. And I think it's hard to turn that sort of money down. But anyway.
What an investment, though. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Great investment.
Ridiculous, isn't it? It cost them nothing.
All they have to do is just kind of shepherd it along through the years, right? And just let the Premier League
milk the cow.
It's smart.
Milk the cow.
It's very smart.
Which is ridiculous when you think about it, that they're not accepting $6 billion.
It must be some. I don't know a whole lot about business, but like, if your business is evaluated at $2 billion 1 year, you have certain financial flexibility, and then the next year, if it gets evaluated at $6 billion, you have more flexibility, right? Like you could take out loans against United, etc.
You can, yeah.
So
and
I mean,
the issue
maybe that's all that's happening.
Before Chelsea was sold to Todd Bowley, Man United was worth like 2.5 billion, but then the Chelsea club sale pushed all of sports enterprises up higher because everyone was like, Chelsea were valued at 4 billion or something, but someone's paid 6.2 billion. And therefore, it's the market rate, right? That's what it's all gets judged against. So yeah. But I think Todd Bowley even said there was an NFL team purchased or something before he bought Chelsea that pushed it up even slightly pushed it up higher. And anyway, Crystal Palace won, didn't they? That's what we're getting.
Crystal Palace won. Good strike. Give Ten Hag 4 more years, as I said last week. At least 4 more years. Give him time. Let him cook.
4 years is fine, and you said, okay, we could be in for some lukewarm, tepid times. Okay, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. But you have to understand, when other clubs have had lukewarm, tepid times, your fan base has been very vocal about it. So you have to expect what will follow, the questions, the abuse, you have to expect it.
That's fine. Too bad I'm not 20 years old, If I was 20 years old, it might get to me, but now not so much.
2022 car would have been all over it.
You missed the boat, they missed me.
Would have been all over it. I'd even argue that early 2023 Cart might have still been.
Cart playing eFootball would have raised to the.
If
the
you
arguments,
put that,
I think.
if you put that wig on, watch what happens. like you put that wig on, and we know what will happen.
We know what we're getting ourselves in for. Yeah.
For those on YouTube that don't know what that is, maybe we'll do a future special edition.
Maybe.
You know,
I thought about doing that today just because I didn't have time to take a shower.
Yeah, but we can't smell you.
But that's the thing, you know. So if United didn't win anything, then maybe I'd feel that way. But we won some. We had a good run, you know. I mean, obviously, I only caught the tail end of it as a young guy, but you know, it's okay now. Like, you know, you've seen what I've written over the years of all these losses when, you know, when Burnley comes in, we go to Burnley and we lose, you know. Oh, we're giving back, you know, we're giving back for all the wins we had, you know.
Oh God, let's move on.
It's not good. You just, I mean, I'm impenetrable.
This is 2022 Cart right here.
I'm unpenetrable. I was just making an example of what I was doing.
That's right. It is what it is. Like,
I'm gonna have another cough drop.
It's fine. Yeah, go for it.
Sounds. Oh, I like what you did here with the title, by the way. The next one. Guys, like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you, Greg.
Oh crap! Yeah.
We have to do it at the start of the segment, not this bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what's on YouTube, not this bit.
That's true. Okay. All right, I'll try to remember. What's gonna happen in like 2 minutes? I better remember. Okay. Next one. Let's get it queued up. Oh man, this could be like a 3-hour segment. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I got my little blurb. All right, here we go. Please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this right now, we really appreciate it. It's free and helps us out. Thank you. Now on to the segment. In a game shrouded in controversy, 9-man Liverpool fell to a 2-1 defeat with almost the last kick of the game when Joel Matip put through his own net, meaning their unbeaten start to the league season ground to a halt. I watched this game on tape delay, and it was quite a game with quite the number of decisions. Let's try to talk about the game as much as we can before the referee's involved in the game. But let's try to talk about the game. Let's try. Okay.
Let's try.
Tottenham played. I thought it was a good game to start, at least. Tottenham played well. I thought Liverpool played very well. Any big performers for you on Tottenham, Liverpool? Anyone stand out just on football wise?
For me, I think we were headed for a Liverpool win right until the sending off.
Okay.
So, and as you say, we'll get into those decisions.
Sure.
I was thinking draw.
You were thinking a draw. Okay. Yeah. I thought Liverpool looked like they have all season long so far, pretty sharp. Threatening going forward, and I mean, you know, obviously we've seen what Tottenham can do under Ange. You know, I was also hoping for a Liverpool win a little bit. I got to be honest, so maybe I've got some rose-tinted glasses in this case, but yeah, I don't know. I thought Liverpool had enough about them to go and win that game, but the sending off changed everything. That's where I thought the game changed. I had the game on. I was doing other stuff, but it was on right next to me, so I was watching it pretty closely. And yeah, that to me, I was enjoying the game too until that point, and I thought that's kind of where it all changed.
I think the sending off was a game changer, but I don't think it changed Liverpool negatively.
No,
I think
they did well with
embodied them or whatever it is. Yeah. Like
they scored after
cliche,
that red
right?
card. They scored.
They did. So it's that old cliche, right? The team with 10 men always plays better, right? It's an age-old football cliche, and while sometimes it can be true, often it's not. But
agreed.
But no, they did continue to play very well, and that's why that just fed into my belief that they had enough about them to win the game 11-on-11. You know, I don't know how comfortably. I think I'd predicted 3-1. So, but yeah, starting with that red for you, red, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
In today's game, it's a red card.
I think it is as well.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a Liverpool fan about this last night. More than one, actually. There was some arguments in my chat about it as well. There was a time where that wouldn't have been a red. Most likely, it would have been a yellow. But they've been trying for several years to eliminate that over the top of the ball into the ankle challenge. And I think part of that is down to Eduardo. I'm going to name Arsenal players, Aaron Ramsey and Abu Diaby, who all three of them suffered challenges that did that and broke their ankles. So, and pretty much ended careers. So I understand it. And for me, people were talking about different angles, but again, I just, every angle I saw it from, for me, that was a.
So, I mean,
I agree.
Yeah. When you try to think about like intent, right? I don't think Curtis Jones intended to go into his ankle and didn't intend to break his leg. It wasn't there was no malice in the challenge. But the truth
I don't think Ryan Shawcross intended to break Aaron Ramsey's leg.
Exactly.
But it was a dangerous tackle.
Yeah.
And they so.
And you always hear that, right? He didn't intend to. It's a yellow card for me or something like that. You know, some people say that. And intent, I don't think, has anything to do with it. I think what he was trying to do is just kind of shield the ball, right? He was trying to step over the ball and shield it. But some people are saying he slipped over the ball. I mean, I feel like I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to, get his foot on the other side of the ball to shield it and bring it back type of thing. But yeah, he mistimed it, and it's a dangerous play.
He misjudged the speed of the ball. He had misjudged the speed the ball was moving and was trying to get his foot in front of it or nick it around him when you look at it objectively, he's touched the ball, but his studs were up, and he's caught him high on the ankle, and it could have been a leg breaker. It doesn't matter if there's intent. It's a dangerous tackle. Like
it is on you.
Unlucky,
it's on you. If you're doing the challenge, it's on you to time it correctly. And unfortunately, your timing ended with your foot going over the ball, slipping off the top of it, whatever it might be. And it was a little lungy as well. I think that has to be looked at. It is one of those, though, if your foot goes over the top of the ball and you scoop it into your possession, it's one of those that ends in a round of applause from the fan base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
high risk.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder, and to be fair, from the referee's point of view, I really thought it was a very brave call, a brave call from the ref, because what was it, 25th minute or something?
Yeah.
If they let that go, it's just they could have let it go. It's early enough in the game. Yeah,
I do agree. Just bringing VAR into it to start, because obviously we're going to be talking a lot about VAR. I do agree with what Mordecai said, is that they shouldn't have called the ref to the monitor with the still of the image being the first thing he saw. It should have been a replay like we all saw, because he wanders over and the first thing on that screen was the still image of the boot just going into, was it Sarr's ankle? I think Pape Mate Sarr's ankle. Was it Basuma? Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that's.
They should have shown the ref everything, all the replays first, all the angles, and then if he asks
watched
for
the replay after the still.
He saw the still and then watched the replay, but the replay wasn't. It was literally as Curtis Jones went over the ball into the ankle. There was nothing like how the ball had bounced or anything like that. I still think the right decision was made, but I do agree with Mordecai in the chat around that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, And moving on, just 10 minutes later, right? There was the disallowed goal for offside. Apparently,
Yeah.
I wonder if now there's really no universe where we could really imagine if that didn't happen. How would the reaction to the red card be? Maybe that call 10 minutes later. And then the goal 2 minutes later, right? It's just 3 events right back to back that would just trigger me as a Liverpool fan. And I feel a little bad for Liverpool fans here because, welcome to the club, first of all, United.
I don't think.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Please.
I don't think any
Good
decision, any decision before or after that goal would temper fan anger. It's purely that decision, how that decision was reached for the goal to be given offside.
No, the
laughable.
offside one, yeah. I'm talking about the red card. Like looking after that happens, looking back at the red card,
even if that, which it may come as a shock to you.
That does.
No,
Yeah,
I agree with Carr in that had Liverpool won this game 3-1 after that red card, I don't think there would be a backlash about the red card. At least nowhere near as vocal as what we're seeing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, no.
So,
I don't think.
Yeah. Let it be known that occasionally I do agree with Carr.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Not only if okay, I appreciate that, by the way. Not only if Liverpool won, but if that goal was just allowed, right? If there wasn't a bigger mistake by the referees, right, that could be interpreted as a mistake. If there wasn't a blatant mistake, that Curtis Jones red card, I don't think would be being looked at as it is now, because now we've found like a fault in the refereeing system, and then we're gonna extend that to the Curtis Jones red card. I think it's a bit of a hypothetical. You can't really unless you find someone who didn't watch after the 26th minute. You could ask them, what do you think?
Is that happening? You get the feel that that's happening out there, because for me, I saw the backlash to the red card instantly in the discords that I was in and stuff for the game.
I think it would have been tempered a little bit by the end of the game, if the goal was allowed. It was a great goal, by the way.
I don't think I've seen too much discussion on the red card because of the goal.
Fair enough.
My circle of footballing feeds and friends and stuff like that. So.
Fair enough. It's just a theory.
Yeah.
I have many theories.
But
yeah, the goal
does bring us to the goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we all clear on what happened? Yeah.
I was going to say, shall I talk through events as I know?
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, let's just iron it out for everybody.
Luis Diaz scores a very nice finish, a very good goal. Lovely ball through from Mo Salah. Luis Diaz onto his right foot across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. Lovely goal. Linesman then flags for offside. So it goes to, as all goals do, it goes to VAR. VAR think the decision is actually a goal has been given. So they very quickly check and go, yes, check complete. Go with the on-field decision. The on-field decision was offside, so a free kick is given, and as soon as the free kick is taken, VAR is alerted to the fact it wasn't restarted by a kickoff, and have understood they've made the wrong. They've understood the on-field decision wrong, but because the game has kicked off, there's nothing that can be done about it. So that is how a referee, Dermot Gallagher, has explained it and interpreted what's happened, and Pugmol, whatever they're called, have come out and said, yep, it was a massive human error in terms of understanding the on-field decision incorrectly.
They should not have admitted to that, in my opinion. They should have apologized and then kept that under wraps, because now they look even dumber than they did before. You know what I mean? Like now it's just, it's comedy.
I'm imagining Mr. Bean right now, up in the VAR booth. That's my only.
Wow,
I've seen so many takes on this, where why wouldn't you just tell the ref, hey, whoa, we fucked up? Right. There's open communication there.
That brings up a good point. Yeah. That brings up a good point. I think we should be able to call, we should extend the jurisdiction of VAR to be able to call that goal a goal. You know, that apology,
Yes.
they came up with that apology maybe 5 minutes after the incident. 5 minutes later, they should just be like, look, instead of apologizing after 90 minutes, we're going to apologize now and we're going to give a goal. I think that should become a norm, personally.
Not
So this
after
is
the
what-
game, but still
Not after
during
the game. During the game.
Yeah,
During the game.
Isn't it that if you haven't seen the Dermot Gallagher interview on Sky
That
Sports
guy,
YouTube,
that guy, man.
he's irritating, but he does explain why the referee can't make a decision. So it's a very famous incident, right, with Bielsa's Leeds versus Aston Villa, where something happened and Leeds scored, but it shouldn't have been a goal. So Bielsa called the referee over and said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to let Aston Villa score an equaliser. And the ref went, fine. So a lot of questions to Dermot Gallagher on this show was, why can't the referee go over to the managers and say, look, VAR have contacted me. You've seen it on your screens. That was a goal. What I want to happen is this. And Dermot Gallagher was basically saying, as soon as he does that, he's not having the laws of the game as a referee correctly enforced in the game, which then means he would get fined by the FA for not having the laws of the game done correctly. So it's then down to the clubs to agree that someone needs to let someone else score. And it's
Bullshit.
like, I agree. It's absolute bullshit. And there should be a common sense rule written in. But I think that's taken away from it, right?
That's just a referee
sticking up for a referee.
Sticking up for referees. Like, get fucked.
But the other thing is that it shouldn't even come to that.
He literally, 100%, it shouldn't come to that. But like, he said, oh, it's down to the clubs. What a surprise. The refs are pushing back on the clubs. Like, bollocks. Like, this is down to you. We've talked about it last year. There were some horrendous decisions last year. And is it Howard Webb that's in charge?
Yeah.
He's come out and said, you know, we're going to be more accountable. We're going to be more transparent. We're going to be more. So this is them being transparent. So they probably think, oh, you know, well, we fixed it. We've told them, A, we're sorry, and B, we actually told them we're dumber than anyone thought we were.
No, and they got rid of the guy. Darren England's gone, by the way.
Yeah. That's it.
They executed him. You know, that's good too. You know, he's gone.
My problem is that yes, Darren England is the person that made that call to say check complete. He's got 2 assistants. There's 3 people in that fucking van. Why has none of them gone, are we sure that's not, hang on, the linesman's got his flag up. I think they flagged for offside. Why have they just gone, check complete, done, goal.
That's apology number 5 on the season already or something?
There's a lot.
3 or 5.
You don't want to be Howard Webb now, do you? Jesus Christ.
No, and I mean, one public, I don't even think you should be allowed any grace, but even just like, you know what I mean? Because you can't give them any leeway. You can't say, well, you're allowed 3 public apologies a year. That's what we will accept. It's 0. It's 0 because of the stake, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you know, and it leads to so many stupid rumours in inverted commas because you don't know if they're true or not. Like they're drawing their own
conspiracies.
They're drawing their own lines of themselves of blow. That's the rumour that's going around. They couldn't draw the lines because they're doing their own lines in the van. They're ordering pizza.
There's rumours about because they went to the UAE with 48 hours before, and then there's
fatigue,
and then also money, like betting scandal was mentioned. Obviously, all the conspiracies that could come out. Bottom line, I don't think it's anything more. I honestly don't think it's anything more than what they've said because it is so stupid. It can only be true.
I agree.
Yeah,
like it's so dumb. You wouldn't tell people if it wasn't true. You know what I mean? Like,
say this happens again somehow, right? What should the course of action be? I mean, we discussed if they figure it out 5 minutes after, they can award the goal and start at a goal kick or something, or half time. I mean, after the game.
Or are you talking? I'm talking just in this instant.
After the game. And no, I mean, right now the rules are Liverpool gets no recourse. There's nothing. I mean, as far as I know, there's nothing they can do. Right? There's nothing.
For me,
not in English law,
it's make the right decision, and I don't care if that means play continues and 5 minutes later we get a result that's the correct result. I don't need, you know, the offside checks for the goals is one we don't really want to wait 5 minutes for that, right? Like as in the ones that are like split. Yeah, I don't know. It's then it brings in, can you celebrate a goal? Like you know what I mean? It brings.
We've discussed this before with VAR. It's all down to technology and who wants to have the best technology to do it, and that's the reason why the Premier League and the English FA don't have that animated 3D version that we saw at the World Cup and is now in Serie A, where it's like, are they on, are they off, and it's done by 3D animations, and it's a very clear answer. The reason that's not in the UK at the moment is because their technology can't do it, and they have to then admit. They have to lose pride and say that doing it better. They're doing it better.
The clubs voted against it, by the way, in the summer. The clubs voted against it. Semi-automated VAR system.
Yeah, but
I don't know exactly why. But I mean, the clubs voted against it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
And in fairness to referees, the clubs shouldn't have any say in that, in my opinion, either.
Yeah, I don't think they should.
So the PGMOL, whatever.
PMGOL,
yeah.
Pugmol. When they have to do an apology, for example, a point to the team that got the apology, is that an idea?
That's going to open up. It's going to up so many can of worms.
Okay, so
how about I would be down for a replay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to bring up a game that was mentioned this weekend, and there was a time Arsenal played Sheffield United, and a ball got thrown in, and Kanu scored a goal from it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the ball was supposed to be thrown back to Sheffield United because it had been put out of play for an injury. That wasn't. There was no rule around it. Whether there is or isn't now, there was no rule around it whatsoever. It was a gentleman's rule that you give the ball back to your opponent who put the ball out for an injured player, right?
Yeah.
Kanu was new to the league and said, afterwards, it was a big controversy at the time. That was the biggest controversy we were dealing with then. None of this stuff, but whatever. Anyway, Wenger and Arsenal went to the FA and said, we'll replay the game, because Sheffield United were just furious about it. And they agreed to it. And I am still gobsmacked that that's never happened since at any other point. We've never had a replay of a league game. That was a cup game, I think. But like my point stands. We've never had another incident where there's been a replay of a game because of a mistake like that.
I think there's too much football.
Yeah.
To do it. That's the problem at the moment. But the calendar's too full.
It is. But then, we need a solution. And if that's the solution, then that's what has to happen. And we cut back on bullshit Nations League or international friendlies.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm with that. Let's look at the silver lining here. This is not a bad problem at the end of the day. I mean, I know it's bad.
Can you explain?
Because you're hearing a lot of people say VAR. VAR isn't. Why do we even have VAR? It's like this is a massive growing pain. Like I almost think they need some sort of system where it's not verbal communication. Right? They have to like press a button or something. Like, this is what is happening. Okay. Is it offside? Is it onside? Click a button. Is the goal, are there any fouls in build up? Click a button. Instead of, because what happened here is a breakdown in communications, human error. The technology was fine. And now people are hating on the technology because the humans screwed it up.
But this is what I've said about VAR, right? Is that it's not eliminating human error, it's adding another level of subjectivity, which means you're increasing the percentage chance of human error, because a referee is subjected to something on the field, then VAR is subjected to it by another human player, and then they're asking that referee to have another subjective view on it when he's reviewing it.
Yeah.
If you go by simple maths, that is multiplying your percentage chance of increase threefold. That's like ridiculous. It needs to be an automated. If it's going to work, it needs to be an automated system where the VAR people are trained to do VAR and they are separate from the Referees Association. It needs to be a completely separate entity.
And the only logical conclusion I can get to is we have to call it a very strict game. Like, I know I keep saying it over and over again, but that's the only way you're going to get consistency if you call a super strict game. You know, that's the only way it can happen until you get like complete AI control, you know, refs and all that crap. I mean, that'll take a while. It's probably on the horizon, but you know, the only way is like, yeah, if Curtis Jones lifts up his studs and he touches a player's shin, it's a red card, right? Player A lifts up his studs, goes for the ball, touches the other player with his studs, red card. You know, like just make it a blanket rule. Even, you know, if he wins the ball, fine. Right? If he doesn't touch the player, fine. But that's the risk you're going to take if you approach the ball like that. Like, those are just the basic rules we have to establish.
Wouldn't you get players trying to insert their limbs into people's studs to get them sent off? You know what I mean?
Manipulating the system, yeah. Like diving,
but I guess,
right?
I mean, we had a situation like that with Uruguay, Korea in the World Cup, where Cavani kind of like, you know, he was running in on net or running in the box, and you could see clearly that he stuck his leg out to create contact, right? So it would be that type of situation.
Lots of players do that, yeah. Lots of players do that. That should be a instant yellow.
Yeah, and I mean, those are the calls where you need, obviously, I think you need football people in the VAR room and all that stuff. Like, I mean, obviously, if it happens outside the box right now, the status quo is we let it go. You know, if the referee sees it, if the assistant ref sees it, we call it. If they don't see it, VAR doesn't intervene unless it leads to a goal, which is okay. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Other leagues. I was asking this last night. Do other leagues have this? Like, because everyone's like, well, they don't have this problem in such and such a league. Do they? Because does anyone watch enough? Does anyone we are with watch enough of another league to be able to say with confidence that they never have these issues with their VAR system?
I don't think they never have them, but you never hear of them in such magnitude. And that could just be because of the Premier League being the Premier League. It could be because that's the one we focus on. But
that is not, yeah.
I have seen calls and VAR used in Serie A, and there have been errors, but they are never errors of this sort of judgment.
Magnitude.
And, you know, I think we know... I'm going to really piss Mordecai off here, probably. But we do have to remember that VAR has got way more decisions correct than it has wrong.
Yep.
And that is what we want in football. It's just that when it goes wrong, it's like a goalkeeper. It's such a massive error. If a goalkeeper fucks up, he can be amazing for 89 minutes of a game and he gets it wrong once and he's a fuck up. If a VAR gets it right 99 times out of 100 and the one time he gets it wrong, it's a nightmare. You can
take that out of football. That's any job in the world. You could do a fantastic job all year round and no one says well done. But if you fuck up, you hear about it straight away.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That's every job I've ever had.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But it's annoying that you said it already, Rylan. Right? This early into the season, and it's the 5th apology, and it might be probably the 10th time we're talking about it.
Wasn't there 14 apology? Oh no,
hang on. I've got this information. You guys carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the, you know, I'm too nice. You know, these are growing pains. And this is a huge learning moment for VAR. And obviously, you know, I mean, look, Liverpool. I'm sorry. I honestly, I feel for you guys. I thought you guys played really well, but you know, I'm able to look past this. You know, and like 5 years from now, we'll look back on this decision and be like, this was a turning point. Hopefully is a turning point for basic VAR use. Like, this is going to raise the standards in the VAR room. The communication is going to, things have to change. This protocol has to be made for basic communication now. Almost like when you're driving a Tesla. I've never driven a Tesla, but like it checks every now and then that you're still at the wheel. Like Darren England has to be like, they have to, I think in FedEx they have like sensors in the chairs to make sure the drivers are sitting in the chairs or something, so they're in driving time. Like they need that in the VAR. Like make sure Darren England is looking at the screen, or something like this.
My big
it's
thing
very simple.
Is you look at sport where sports have video referee, and however it's described, or an AI video system, something like that. For American sports, you guys will know better than me. For North American sports, you guys will know better. But my thought, and a very quick bit of research I did, is that in every other sport, it's the same system, no matter where that game is in the world. Tennis is Hawkeye everywhere. Every competition, every big level competition is only Hawkeye that's used. Everyone knows how to use it. Everyone knows what it means. Cricket, Hawkeye, everyone knows how to use it. Everyone knows what it was. And it's the same whether the game's in India, whether it's in England, whether it's in America, right?
Yeah.
That's what it needs for football. I want VAR. It's here to stay. Like, get used to it. Like, it's going to be here. But I still think it needs to be an independent thing that wherever you play in the world, at the top division, so top 5 divisions across Europe, should all be using the same system.
Yeah.
And should all be using video referees that can go and do any game across England, Spain, Italy, France, Portugal, Holland, whatever, because the system is the same. They know what it is. They know what is needed of them. They know what the rules are. They know what the process is. But there's too much change. We don't even use the same one in the World Cup that we do in the Premier League. We don't use the same one in the Premier League that we do in Serie A. It's like, that can't work for football.
Different football bodies, that's why, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They've all got too much pride to say, oh, actually, yeah, we'll take your one on because it's doing a better job.
And then when you make this huge, it almost becomes like a, FIFA would have to basically do this, right? FIFA would have to.
FIFA would have to do it.
It would just come from FIFA, and it's a lot of resources that is.
Does anyone trust FIFA? No.
Exactly, right? So that's what would happen. It would become like this huge, corporation, conspiracy thing. But so it's interesting.
What else should we talk about? The rest of that game, I suppose we've pretty much.
Is James Maddison the best signing of the summer?
Too early to say, but I mean, he's definitely going to be up
at the moment. At the moment, yeah, it is too early.
At the moment, I can't think of a better one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else has had a big impact.
Playing very well. We were linked with him. I would have been okay, but we don't have a need for that position. So no. I think that's a very good signing. He's playing very well. But I think Son is flourishing a lot as well. Obviously, another goal for him.
I think Richarlison's playing well, being moved to the left.
Udogie played very well.
Destiny Udogie looks very good at left back.
He was on loan last year, or what did they sign him this year? Yeah.
No, they loaned him to Udinese for a year. Yeah. So,
and Szoboszlai.
They did the Brighton.
Absolutely.
Again. Szoboszlai looks good.
Szoboszlai, he's great. He's good.
Son's opener came just after the offsidings.
2 or 3 minutes right after.
Yeah. 2 or 3 minutes after.
Which is just horrible. It's just so bad.
And I think, Milo, you've been a fan of Luis Diaz for a long time, and he looks very good this year. It looks like they've got that front three sorted with Gakpo, Salah, and Luis Diaz. Looks good. Jota coming on as well. So
is a really exciting player. The second I saw him play when he, not last season, season before, I think, right, when he showed up them, and he was out for the majority of last season with injury. So
Jota coming on. And then, going off as well, which was...
So, I didn't see the first yellow card. I've seen the second one, which is a yellow card. But what was the first one for?
The first one was...
Because everyone was saying it was really harsh, but I've not seen it. It's not in any of the first one packages.
The first one was more harsh than the second one. I think he tripped somebody. It was what was it? The second one, he lost the ball
and he trips,
and he goes back into it. The other one was like when you run behind somebody and you kind of clip their back legs and they buckle each other. It's like he's running back and then he taps someone's leg and then they trip themselves on their leg.
I don't think there was any it's not like if you do that to somebody, you're looking down to do that to them.
Yeah, but
Can you do that in your peripheral vision? I don't think that you can.
I would almost usually he came on and I think he was on for a while before that first one, but usually if there's a clear attack on and he's stopping an attack, they'll call that a yellow. This one, it didn't seem like there was a clear attack.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. Was he stopping a counter attack? But
there wasn't they were approaching there was right on the line of the final third, between midfield third and final third, and
it wasn't like a blistering
it wasn't like a clear attack was there, but it was harsh. It was a harsh yellow, but I don't think you can disagree completely. But the second one, he had to give this a yellow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
that was a rough one. That's a rough one. I mean, that second one is a rough one. The first one.
What I don't know is, had the bar been set for a booking by that point, take the sending off out of it, because that was obviously beforehand. Because I do, looking back, there was yellows to Porro, Romero, Dogi, Basuma, Salah, McAllister, Van Dijk, Robertson. So how many of those were before that Jota yellow, the first one? And had the bar been set for, because you know how a referee kind of sets the bar for what is going to constitute a booking from this point of the match forward, kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know what had happened to that point.
I sort of feel like with that many yellow cards, it was a low bar.
Yeah.
Well, I think Udogi had picked one up in the first half. I don't remember after that, but. Yeah, I don't know. I can't recall exactly the nature of those yellow cards or when the order.
If you come on as a sub, you are, you do have to be ready to join the game in its current state, I suppose.
Right.
So what if, I have no idea if this is the case, what if the ref had said to the captains at some point during that time, listen, I've had enough of both your teams niggling at each other anymore. It's going to be a yellow. Jota comes in, does that, he books him. You know what I mean? Just not because it's him, not because of what he did, but because he'd said enough's enough. Like maybe that was part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I would be frustrated though. It would add to my frustration as a Liverpool fan. I can totally get it because in that game.
It's so rough.
It's a rough game. It's a rough
one.
Fan. Yeah.
I actually got sympathy for him this time.
They certainly didn't. There is no way you can say in any way they did not deserve to lose that game.
No.
Like the ending so harsh.
By the way,
as well.
What a finish from Joel Matip. Yeah. I know it's an own goal, but what a finish, man! He couldn't have placed that any better at pace. Like unbelievable. Yeah.
But Greg, let's use this segment. We'll congratulate Hoff once again for the birth of his twins, Greg. So Hoff is a new
if you want to congratulate Hoff, what you can do is hit that subscribe button on YouTube because it's free. Yeah. And it will really show Hoff that you appreciate the fact that he's got twins.
He would love you to hit that subscribe button.
It goes straight into their college fund, the subscribe button.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's free.
It's free, exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a I watched that game after I watched the United game, like back to back, and the red card was just like, oh man, it's one of these games, you know. I thought it was going to be a good, like, feisty kind of game.
I mean, we didn't touch on it in the VAR section, but I also think there should have been 2 handballs in the Man United game. I think one for each team. I think Amrabat's was a handball where he didn't know where he was and the ball hit his hand. And Joel Ward's one where the cross came in and Joel Ward was looking at Rashford and it hits his hand and goes out for a corner. They both should have been handball. I don't understand how they weren't given.
And we were 1-0 down at that point.
We were 1-0 down when we weren't given a penalty. Yeah. And then we were pushing really far forward and Palace had a counter attack and would have gone 2-0 up if their penalty was given, but it might have been 2-1 because we scored, so we would have got a penalty. But yeah, there's so much around VAR which just needs clearing up. It needs to be decisive, and I think we touched on it previously in one of our many discussions about VAR, which was like the technology isn't keeping up. Well, the rules aren't keeping up with the technology, so it's causing too many grey zones for around handball and stuff like that. So.
Also, to our conversation, there's been 14 VAR apologies, not this season. Only 2 this season so far. Right. Man United Wolves for the Onana murder of
Kalajic,
yeah, whatever his name is, Sasa. And then the Tottenham Liverpool one. So just the 2 apologies so far. But like I said, they should have left it at just an apology. We got it wrong to explain what happened. Now, I just think you're a bunch of idiots. And the fact it just highlights even more issues with it.
I don't know if I disagree. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think yeah.
They showed the footage, right? And there was no lines even drawn. I don't think there was lines drawn on the footage. There was lines drawn at half time on the footage I was watching in Singapore, but there wasn't lines drawn on the live footage. It was really strange.
I completely agree. They look like idiots. I completely agree there. But I think I think it's good that they said what happened, because there's no what are you gonna say there? You know,
wasn't they had that other one where somebody forgot to draw the lines? What was that?
Remember that one? Remember the Arsenal one when it was last season when there was a guy at the corner. He took a short corner and their defender had never come out, and the camera didn't pick him up, so they were like, he's not the last man. It was like, yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
and is that why we didn't draw the lines?
Brentford? Was it Brentford?
Brentford.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Brentford, yeah. So,
the refs are all there to back each other's decisions, regardless of what actually should be the call. Clear enough, there should be removed.
And they've always done that, Castle. Like referees in England and probably elsewhere. Obviously, I'm speaking mostly from my experience, which is in England. They've always done that, and it got right from when I was a kid. Cultured, you probably would agree with this too. That like the more pushback on the refs through the 90s, the more they grouped together and pushed back on the clubs and everyone else, and it became an us versus them mentality. I don't remember a time in football where it was like, hey, we're all in this game together, let's make it better and let's make it right. Like it's for as long as I can remember, it's been us versus them, refs versus everybody else, and like they're protecting their own, almost like a police force would, right? It's the same kind of thing. A lot of people hate the police. They protect their own.
It's because if you think about it in entertainment terms, which is what football is, it's a sport, it's meant to entertain us. They are the pantomime villain, right? The ref. They are the people that both teams hate. Both teams can hate. Both groups of supporters can hate the ref.
There is, the popular age-old song, "The Referee's a Wanker," has been around for a long time.
Probably since referees were. Well, it was either since referees existed or the word "wanker" got invented. Yeah. I reckon that song has been around.
One or the other, but like it's and it got to a point where you couldn't even speak up about a ref, right? And that still stands today. If a manager goes in and absolutely slaughters a ref in his post-match press conference, he will get fined.
Yeah. He's opening up for a suing, technically.
Jose was the first one who brought it up. There's 3 teams on the pitch, right? That's what he would say. 3 teams, not 2.
Yeah. It's an interesting, just quickly before we move on.
Yeah.
The clear and obvious error thing.
Yeah.
Should it, and now this has always bugged me about VAR, this is more of a sort of philosophical, not so philosophical because you can answer it in a yes or a no, but should it, clear and obvious error, should it revolve around throw-ins, goal kicks and corners? So many times you see like a wrong decision given from a deflection where it's like taking a double deflection and goes off for a corner and the referee gives goal kick. So in my mind, that is a very clear and obvious error where VAR can just be like, we've seen the replay, give a corner.
It should look at everything, in my opinion.
I don't understand why that, which is very clear and obvious, is never consulted with VAR. It seems to be only clear and obvious errors that result in a goal or a red card.
Remember a few weeks ago I said to you, I felt like a lot of it was about them not wanting to take the referee is the man in charge on the day.
Yeah.
He's the man in charge of the game, and they don't want to belittle his job too much with VAR. That's how I see what happens. And like, someone needs to sit them all down and be like, listen, this isn't about making you look bad or taking power away. It's just making sure the right decision gets made at the end of the day. So make your call on the field. We'll check it. And if not, we'll say, you might not have seen this, but this is what actually happened. And this is the correct decision. It's not about proving you wrong. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the refs need to get that in the head. It's not about proving them wrong. It's about just getting the right decision.
Yeah. And I can understand that with it being, like, even though I've just advocated for having an independent VAR person, while it's not an independent VAR company or whatever, that's surely easier to sell to the refs to be like, we're just doing it as a team to make sure we get the right decision.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Miley. I agree with you.
What if they like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, when you ask the audience Everyone has a little thing.
No,
You know?
God no.
I wonder if he gave that to like, certain people. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Absolutely not.
This is off your jury idea. Your jury idea. Remember the jury idea?
VAR jury, yeah. Yeah, but VAR jury requires extensive background checks. If you just put like a box with buttons on it on random seats in the stadium, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everyone in the home section would obviously do the decision that benefits their team.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm curious to see what the aftermath, because they gotta do something immediately, right? They gotta do something. I mean, Darren England's gone.
I imagine Darren England's gone, and I imagine right now all the Premier League teams are having a discussion with the Pugmo.
Yeah.
Around what's going to change. There'll be a lot going on straight away in the background around that. Liverpool have released a statement, haven't they, around looking at all avenues they can take to see what they can do. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. So.
Yeah. All right, should we get into the roundup?
Let's do it. Yeah, give me the signal.
All righty.
All right, welcome to the 91st Minute Roundup this week. And as always, please hit that subscribe button for those of you on YouTube. It would be much appreciated. Yeah, so this week, I should say, in football, Arsenal cruise past Bournemouth 4-0. I didn't think this was worth a whole dedicated segment because it was quite a routine win. Saka, Odegaard from the penalty spot, Kai Havertz from the penalty spot, and Ben White rounding it off. Saka and Odegaard conspired together to give the ball to Kai to get his first goal for the club. Anything you guys want to say about that? Did you think that was cheesy? What do you think about that?
It's very, in my mind, 2-0 isn't a high enough score to do that, because if he misses,
what an insult.
Very easily turn. But do you know what I mean?
He's a professional footballer.
But it's only 2-0. If he misses,
he's a professional forward playing football player. He should be able to score a penalty.
He should. But it's not a 1xG, is it? It's 0.8. 0.2
look
XG.
Look at him last night in my at the end of my save.
Yeah,
he was on fire.
Actually banging them in. Yeah, he was
banging them in.
I don't mind it. I like the fact that it was confident from the team that they knew they had won the game. Yeah,
I like it from that perspective. I think it's team building, isn't it? It's team bonding building.
I'm going to take a different approach to this. This is tactical. Now you have 3 penalty kick takers that the future opponent you face has to think about. You have Saka, you have Odegaard, and now you have Havertz, and who knows, maybe you have Jesus at some point. I think rotating your penalty kick shooters will make, it'll create more homework for the opponent's goalkeeper to have to think about, who's going to take it. Maybe Saka and Odegaard are both standing at the penalty spot, and at the last second they decide, okay, Odegaard, and then the keeper gets to think about and recall what he likes to do. I mean, that's a very good faith argument. I'm giving Arsenal a lot of credit there, but I think at the end of the day, now 3 penalty kick takers have taken penalties for Arsenal. Ederson next week is going to have to study all 3 of them instead of just Odegaard or just Saka type of thing. But that's a bit,
that is true.
True.
But big weekend for Arsenal, by the way. Big weekend for Arsenal. Huge.
Yeah,
with all the other results.
Obviously, Arsenal and Tottenham now the only 2 teams without a loss in the league.
Nice.
So that's interesting. That is kind of fun. There was Saka had to come off with a slight injury concern, but apparently he's okay. Whether or not he'll play against Lens this week, we'll see. But then I think he'll be rested for Man City. So also back in training this week, Partey, Martinelli, and Trossard. So that's a big boost for us, to be honest. Because I do feel like, especially the Martinelli Trossard thing, I think it affects the way we go forward quite a lot. So yeah, all in all, a good weekend for Arsenal, as you say. Next up, Man City finally lost a game. I put comma, you love to see it. That might be mean. That might be mean. I don't know. I know they got a couple of injuries to key personnel, but yeah, goals: a Ruben Diaz own goal and He Chan either side of another Alvarez goal, who continues to do well. But Wolves get it done. So yeah, City not invincible after all.
That
Yeah,
Rodri loss is looking big, you know. And Pep was in the stands. He's serving a ban, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Right? You never know. This could be the perfect storm heading into next weekend for Arsenal. You know, to take some points off them. It could be big.
I think Rodri being out, John Stones being injured, because I think now Pep would move John Stones into that role to play holding midfield, but because he doesn't trust Calvin Phillips, does he? Like, he's come out admitted and said, "I've not done enough for Calvin Phillips." It's like, well, he'll be training with the rest of your squad, so he should be putting in the effort anyway. But yeah, I think it's a good time for Arsenal to be facing them. It's going to be key to see whether John Stones is fit or not.
I think that it will be a close game, but I also, you know, we've got players that are returning, which is great. How fit will they be? Like I said, well, no, because I've said every week so far, like, I don't think we're seeing Arsenal flying at full speed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we've seen the best of Arsenal so far this season based on last season performances. So with that being said, we beat City in the Community Shield, albeit, you know, however we beat them. But like, again, that was kind of like, is that mentally helpful when we play them in the season? Add in a couple of injuries. Look, I think it's a good time to play them. I still think they're a great team. They have a great manager. They are literally more used to winning than any other team in the league right now. And they're going to be coming off of a loss to Wolves that is going to piss off Pep, quite frankly. And he definitely makes it clear when he's not happy with his squad, right? So that would have been unacceptable to him, almost to the point where it was, offensive to him and his entire family, probably. And he will look for them to take that out on the next team they face, and that will be us. So I don't know. I think it could go either way, though. I don't think it's, you know, every other season up to this point, I've been thinking City, I think, is still too much for us. Right now, I feel like the game could go either way.
Is it home or away for you guys?
Hashtag free Alvarez.
Away, I believe.
It's okay. Yeah.
Hashtag free Alvarez.
Yeah, definitely we'll be watching that game.
Yeah, City got midweek, Leipzig, so that's probably who knows though?
You never know. Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
But yeah, it's you know, it's good to see City lose, you know, a little bit. Spice things up a little bit, you know.
There's been a lot of Farmers League talk happening. You know, so yeah, it's good to see Wolves get the win.
Yeah. But you know, you gotta be you never know. Could City lose 2 in a row? Could they drop points 2 weeks in a row? Who knows? We'll see.
Chelsea today finally winning a game. 2-0 win over Fulham. Goals from Mudryk and Broja. So Chelsea fans, 2 wins in a week, I think. Didn't they win in the Carabao Cup as well?
They did. Yeah.
Could this win, my question to you guys, could this win kickstart their campaign? Yes or no?
It could. It could. Yeah, I think it might. I think it'll give him a bit of confidence. And Mudryk needed something, right? How many games has it been without an assist and a goal? He needed something. And it shows that Broja's literally only played because Jackson's picked up 7 yellow cards in 8 games or something. Like, he's in and he's scored. I think it's weird. I don't like Chelsea, but I do. This is just a bit harsh on them now, isn't it? It's gone on a bit too long. Like, get a few results, make it a bit more entertaining. But
yeah, I'm all right with it. How it was.
Yeah. So, I hope it makes the league more competitive and they get a bit of a kickstart.
So Broja's coming back from a big injury. He got a cruciate ligament, right? So he came back, I think, middle of September. So, and he made an appearance last week. So, at Southampton, he was pretty prolific. So maybe he'll be the guy.
Start, though, would he? He wouldn't have started if Jackson was not suspended.
I don't know.
think so.
I think I mean, yeah, I
Maybe.
guess he's only 2 weeks back from, almost a year off. So, I mean, 2 weeks off back from almost a year off. So, I don't know. And I mean, what does it really kickstart their campaign for Chelsea at this point? Score a goal in a month. I mean, can they score 4 goals in October? Who knows? Oh wait, today
For sure.
we've already
What
started
I mean
October.
is, I guess my question is just, could this be is Poch finally getting them to, play as a team and
Yeah,
perhaps, they've got a good manager there and they have a good squad on paper. So, if they figure it out, they could go on a decent run. It could be a problem. On paper, they should be a problem.
Yeah. It's. Was it true that their September goal of the month had to go to an under-21s player?
If they hadn't have scored in the Carabao.
They scored in the Carabao.
Right, yeah.
They've got Burnley, Arsenal, Brentford, Blackburn, Tottenham, City, Newcastle. So I mean, the games aren't getting any easier. They've got Blackburn in the cup, but other than that, it's
hopefully they're back in the mud by the time we play them. Because I don't want to be dealing with a resurgent Chelsea, to be honest. Finally, Premier League, last thing I want to bring up was Aston Villa's 6-1 win over Brighton. That lifts Villa above Brighton in the table on goal difference, and both on 15 points. Currently a hat-trick for Ollie Watkins. Great performance for him. And is this the Villa we expected? Because I feel like the preseason, I think even on this show, a lot of you guys were kind of hyping up Villa, suggesting they could be in the mix for a top 4. But I don't think they started the league exactly in that shape. But starting to wake up maybe.
Yeah, the Diaby signing is what I really liked in the summer. I thought that was a great move. And apparently in this game, Brighton had more XG despite conceding 6, which I thought was interesting. Brighton, the XG, whatever,
Does that prove XG is a fucking useless statistic?
Pretty much.
It's not.
I mean,
take it away from me.
I mean, the new one, I don't know if you guys heard about it. I don't know if you talked about it, but Field Tilt is the new one. Field Tilt.
Oh, God.
That's
Field
the new
Tilt.
one this year. We had XG last.
Field Tilt's just a fancy phrase for momentum. That's all.
Well,
We've
I think
always
it's
had
possession
momentum.
in the final third. Possession in the final third is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, momentum. It's the same thing.
Kind of. But like you could, people who pass it around the back, the field, like Brian, they pass it around the back. That's not the tilting back, type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
The way
I like Villa. I like Villa. I still like
I
them.
like Villa.
Yeah.
I saw them a lot live when I lived in Birmingham, and it was good stadium to go to.
My dad's the manager.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Remember?
Good evening, son.
Good evening. I feel like this can happen with De Zerbi's tactics, right? They can be very open. Once they do stop passing it out from the back and they progress into that final third, they do commit a lot of players forward. And against a team like Villa, where you've got Watkins, a Diaby, Bailey, I think played as well on the wing with that pace to hit on the counter, it's always going to be harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, jumping over to Serie A. Inter Milan's winning streak ended midweek with a 2-1 defeat to Sassuolo, but they did bounce back yesterday with a 4-0 win over Salernitana. Lautaro Martinez with all 4 goals in that game. Inter top of Serie A still on goal difference from Milan. AC, that is, obviously. Napoli's hangover may be over. They've shown some good form over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They've climbed to 3rd on goal difference. They are tied for points with Juve and Fiorentina. This despite off-field issues between Victor Osimhen and the club. So the club's TikTok account had posted some inflammatory videos or posts which offended the player. So Osimhen then went and removed all ties of Napoli from his social media accounts, basically through a hissy fit. The club did apologize loosely and said they were just following TikTok trends and that there was no sort of dubious undertones to the posts at all. Osimhen continued to play and score goals throughout this little spat, and it seems like it's coming to the end now.
He's come out and said he has undying love for Napoli. So
fans,
I think
Napoli fans.
Fans, yeah.
Yeah. So and his contract's up in 2025. So I'm thinking he moves next summer, and I think club maybe in red and white in London could be interested.
Brentford.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a big step.
Yeah.
Ivan Toney
What do
replacement.
you guys think? Well, I don't know. Yeah, if we end up with Ivan Toney, who knows?
It's funny, isn't it? It's just funny. It's just drama.
It is drama.
Club drama, and I think because Napoli, I know obviously like you said, Osman came out and was like, I've got undying love for the Napoli fans. The Napoli club never said the word sorry. They never actually said the word sorry. They never actually apologised in terms of terms. But it seems to be water under the bridge. But if it means a good striker moves to the Premier League, then I'm all for it.
Would that bother you? The club making a coconut reference, and that would bother you, right? Okay. I mean, I feel like there's some personalities that it might not bother. You know, they might just be like, "Oh, that's pretty funny," you know. But like, you know, it's so much confidence as a striker. You know, you're thinking like you don't want to be undermined. You know.
Their social media team said that they were just following trends. If you look up the coconut video, there's like 3,800 of them, different people, and they also said that they've often made light fun of their players in the squad before, and it's never been an issue. I still, you know, in today's day and age, I don't know. I guess you probably can't do that.
Rudy Garcia, in an interview after this whole thing, he said, 30 years ago when I started managing, 80% of my time was spent managing. Now it's dealing with off-field matters and rumors and stuff like that, you know? So it's kind of interesting how, you know, the role of the manager, and, you know, we'll bring it back to United. Ten Hag isn't that guy, you know? He's a coaching, training type of manager, not a Sancho, blah, 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 you know? Anyways.
Yeah.
I have to go back to that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Over to La Liga. Real brief look here. I apologize, guys, but it's fairly big. Jude Bellingham scored again in a 3-0 win for Real Madrid over third place Girona. Atletico have a game in hand over Girona and sit 3 points behind them in fourth after a 3-2 win this weekend over Cadiz.
Good comeback.
Barcelona beat Sevilla 1-0 with an own goal from Sergio Ramos being the difference. Barca fans must have loved that, is what I wrote for.
Yeah. Yamal came on and created the own goal as well. Yeah, he created the own goal.
Nice.
The Jude what do you think of the Jude celebration? You know, the way he just kind of goes like that.
Can you do it now for us so we can see what it is?
Nah, it's okay. What I'm thinking is what they should do is get the whole team and like everyone do little poses that they do every time Jude scores for the fans. You know,
Shall I tell you what that sounds
like
like?
a K-pop band.
That sounds like something that would come into eFootball and we would all go, what the fuck is that? No team would celebrate like that. That is exactly what that reminds me of.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, it's you never know. Like, do you think, you know how Ronaldo says, Sue? They'll be like, as he puts his arms up, they'll be
Jude.
like, Jude, you know, maybe.
Is that what he did? Or that's what you're saying?
No,
That's what they do?
I'm saying that's what they'll start doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
You know, like in Game of Thrones, where like the dude dies, and then all the dead die, the White Walkers die, and then the big guy goes just like he raises his hands and they
raises them up.
You know,
Yeah.
Anyways,
Spoilers.
AKA, I don't know. I got nothing else about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our last stop in the roundup this week is going to be in North America in the MLS. Inter Miami ticket prices have soared since Lionel Messi has arrived. One fan has posted this week that his season ticket, which was $6,800, is now quoted at $30,600 to retain next season.
Jeez.
Fucking outrageous, to be honest. This increase would... I'm thinking this increase would surely make Inter Miami one of the most expensive season tickets in the world. At the least, it's the biggest year-to-year increase I've ever heard of in a season ticket. Outrageous. I did think, though, this has to be like box seats or something. If you're paying $6,800 for an MLS season ticket, I'm thinking that's like club seats or box seats, right? It's not like just terrace.
That's got to be.
Yeah, probably. Maybe those seats that are right next to the bench. Have you seen? They have those.
Yeah.
They got him at
Could be. I mean,
Miami.
all these stadiums now have these suites, right, with where you get free drinks and food. It sounds like one of those kind of deals. Maybe
Even
it's
still,
60.
that's
Yeah,
a
even so,
percentage increase. That's
to go
ridiculous.
from 6,800 to over 30 grand for a season is, and if you're paying that, by the way, for an MLS season, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
Messi or
maybe you're the Glazers and made some great investments. Jesus.
Maybe, yeah. Or
Maybe.
the Cronkies. Maybe you're the
There's some-
Cronkies and you're there doing the same thing.
I mean, but the thing is on that Messi got injured. He's out for the rest of the season, right? Isn't he
Yeah,
out
so
for
how-
the? I think
Yeah,
he's
he missed the
so
cup
it's
final,
like-
didn't he?
Imagine paying 30,000 and then he gets injured.
Yeah.
You know, bring PEDs back in. You know, we want to see these guys play. I don't know. Just saying. Messi knows all
Yeah.
about that. Anyways,
Also in North America, one tier below the MLS in the USL, 13-year-old Davian Kimbrough made his pro debut for Sacramento Republic yesterday. Becomes the youngest pro athlete in American sports. I think 13's too young to be a pro athlete. Personally, I don't know. Obviously, there are rules on it, but I don't know what they are. Obviously, 13's fine. You know, I think when I was 13, my priorities, what were they? You know, I don't think should any 13-year-old's priorities be, you know, what it takes to be a pro athlete. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's how he becomes the
I think it is
next
now.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I think that is the attitude you need now to become the next Messi or next Ronaldo or whatever. But
Maybe.
I agree with you. I think 13 is too young. It's too young because the only reason I think it's too young is because one bad tackle and that is everything gone. Like even if an accidental knee twist, an ACL at the age of 13 is going to be so difficult to recover from. Like your body isn't fully formed or functioning or growth or grown.
It's still developing.
Yeah.
Maybe part of it maybe that would be a plus side. Maybe it wouldn't affect the development. Who knows?
Maybe.
I think I saw a still photo. I didn't see his play, but he's a pretty big kid, right? I want to say
He is a big kid for 13.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
So
maybe he's like
is
the next
this-
Freddie Adu.
I was going to
He'll be
say,
a,
are we seeing? Let's hope he's better than Freddie Adu.
he'll be a nightclub owner in 15 years. You know.
I think if Freddie Adu was now, he would have become a world superstar.
Really?
Yeah, because I think he would have been signed. His mum would have understood what it all meant. Because his mum stopped him going to Benfica, right, at like 16 when Benfica were allowed to sign him. And I think the way football is, that would have now been acceptable in terms of, from a family point of view, to move the whole family there and help him settle down. He would have then got better training facilities. He would have been moving up on the world and had higher coaching. I just think it was bad luck for the timing of Freddie Adu.
Right.
Yeah.
Because also MLS is bigger, right? And American football is bigger. American soccer is bigger. And the American national team are doing better. He was like 15 in the American national team with the pressure of a whole nation on him.
Yeah.
Like, I think nowadays he would have.
I wouldn't
maybe
say
not been world
I wouldn't say
class.
the whole nation, but
Wow, no,
maybe like
the
an 8.
footballing. Yeah, an 8.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
He's like the
So-
next Landon Donovan type pressure. You know. That's
Yeah.
big for.
Exactly. So, but
All right.
yeah, interesting. Just in the roundup, one quick shout out. Well done,
Yeah.
Luton. 2-1 win
Oh,
over
yeah.
Everton, in the Premier League. So well done to Luton. Yeah.
Luton's
First
become
newly
the
promoted-
latest team to beat
Newest,
Everton.
newest promoted team, or the first promoted team to win as well. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That highlights.
It does. I am interested in that because I think I said to you guys at the start of the season, I saw a league prediction table from a supercomputer that had Luton in like 14th, 13th.
yeah, no, that's not happening.
I don't think that's happening either.
Wow.
But they are out the relegation zone for now.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah, we're
times
waiting
for
for
my my best friend,
Your
dad,
dad.
and boss. Whatever.
Yeah.
What was it?
So nice.
Yeah, the trifecta.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was it. That was your roundup this week, guys. Thank you
Nice.
so much. Tuning.
Nice. And we're all waiting on Milo's career mode playthrough to see if Kenilworth Road is in the game, and you have to
Yeah.
walk through someone's house to get in there.
Yeah, I started a career mode on EAFC. It's pretty good, man. I gotta
It's
be
good
honest.
fun. I'm enjoying the AFC. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. The
Quick
sliders I've
side
got are
note.
Good, yeah.
On video, on gaming, So on the topic of Brighton as well. So now I think De Zerbi also said something about like the midweek game. You know, there's a bit of hangover from that because after they lost to Villa. In Football Manager, have you or I mean, maybe like in the forums, people have talked about it. If you haven't noticed it yourself, when you have like one game a week versus two games a week, like the prep time, right? Because I imagine like Brighton last year, like just having a week to prepare for each game, and like the way De Zerbi likes to train, I imagine maybe for him it's I don't know how often he played in Europe in his career, but like is that like a thing? You know, in Football Manager, like, do you notice the difference?
Yeah, you do notice difference in terms of fatigue, and I don't think training has really ever played that much of a difference.
Fatigue, yes, but not
fatigue,
But you do get so when you have a week off in Football Manager or a week between games in Football Manager, you do get a little report from your assistant that says, this week that went well in training was corners or passing into the final third. You don't get that when you have 2 games a week because your training is, you play Saturday, rest Sunday, and then Monday's like match practice, then Tuesday's match review, and then you play on the Wednesday. So you don't get that little slight boost in stats, but generally it's not that noticeable. So
I wonder what De Zerbi's history is playing two games a week as a player and as a manager. I don't know because I bet that's a big. Oh yeah, with Shakhtar, of course. He would have done it a lot. I bet that's a big step, though. Like as a manager, like you're used to having a week to prepare for a game, and then, if you're not used to preparing, I don't know. I'm sure they're experienced.
Yeah.
All right, player of the week, shall we?
Yeah. Which order do you want to go?
Go me last.
Okay, so I'll go to Milo. Oh no, hold on. How about Culture? Do you want to introduce the topic? Say Match Day 7 Player of the Week, and then maybe ask
so I'll
me.
I'll go on my screen. So I'll introduce it and say Cart, and then do you want to ask Milo, and then Milo?
I'll go to Milo. Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, so just give me the finger.
Yeah. I know. Okay. They didn't see that. All right.
Okay, so player of the week for this week, Cart. Who are you going with?
My player of the week this week is none other than Unai Emery's very own Ollie Watkins. 3 goals and an assist in their thrashing of Brighton this weekend. Great stuff from Ollie, one of my favorite strikers. Milo, who's your player of the week?
My player of the week this week is Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan. Scored all 4 goals in their win this weekend and continues his impressive start to the season. He has 9 goals in 7 games so far. Culture Leffert, who's your player of the week?
My player of the week was going to be Ollie Watkins. So now that Cart's taken that, I'm going with the whole European Ryder Cup team because it was bloody brilliant. Take that, America. It was amazing. Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy, Matt Fitzpatrick. All of them were amazing. Go Europe.
Nice.
There you go.
Did you see the stuff with Rory and the caddy and all that?
Yeah. That all got sorted out very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah,
they would apologise and stuff.
And apparently the USA didn't want to wear their hats or something. I don't know what was going on.
Patrick Cantley, the rumour was Patrick Cantley wouldn't wear his hat because he wanted to get paid for the Ryder Cup. And he was going to say that his protest was not wearing a hat. But I think it turns out that his head was just too big and there wasn't a hat that fit. So,
in the back of my mind, I thought it was like some sort of, Make America Great Again red type of hat thing or something, No,
it wasn't. No. But the European fans, when Patrick Cantley was walking up like the 16th or something, all took their hats off, waving them, and the chant was "Hats off for your bank account, hats off for your bank account." So it was good fun. Very good fun.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Anything else? I think we wrapped it up pretty good today. Got done.
Yeah.
Good show.
For those that, I think everyone that listens to this show and watches it live, including you guys, will be asleep when this happens. But I'm returning to Twitch on Wednesday.
Oh.
So when you wake up on your Wednesday or Thursday, when you wake up on your Wednesday, I might be live.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see.
So, FM, FC, EFC, which one?
I think it'll be EAFC to start because I'm enjoying it and I'm playing a lot of FM on YouTube. So yeah.
Okay.
But I might be back to Twitch. So
nice.
Hopefully.
I'll do a shameless plug as well. I'm going to continue my F1. I didn't do F1 Manager last week because I was sick. So Tuesday night, tomorrow, F1 Manager starts up again. They just released a patch today as well. This morning it was on there. And so it fixes a few of the issues that have been plaguing the game. So yeah, going to continue that tomorrow.
Nice. And I guess for me, Friday, we'll be doing another tier list. Last week we did under 23s. Some controversial calls. What do you guys think? Just real quick. Phil Foden or Gavi? I mean, I guess we just don't know enough about Gavi being more British EPL fans.
Biased,
but I guess that's a tough one to ask. But yeah. Anyways,
I don't think Foden has become I don't know. He's still a lot younger than I think. You know, Foden's been around for a while, but because he's been around since he was so young.
Gavi's younger than him, yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, I feel like Foden. I don't know. I'm not seeing
you mentioned
great recommendation.
You've mentioned it in the past, Milo, where you think, how good can Foden really get at City? I think you mentioned something along those lines, and I guess
now
that's a good
playing. Now he's playing regularly.
Regularly, that's what it was. Yeah, maybe that's what you were talking about.
Before he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, little things like that. We'll discuss those things.
Tier list of worst VAR decisions.
Oh wow.
I mean, you could do that one, but maybe I'd wait to see what else they fuck up this year first.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. That'd be good. Oh yeah, UCL this week. We got Galatasaray. I mean, good lord, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Arsenal,
Lons, Leipzig.
You won that game, Milo, didn't you, in your playthrough?
I did win that game. It was needed too because it broke the streak of draws.
It did. Because after the game reset.
Yeah. So there's a glitch where... Yeah, there's some sort of glitch where... on
PC, you can't pause the game.
It won't, all of a sudden, it won't let me pause mid-game, so I can't make any subs. But yeah, I had a real up and down mental... The sliders and world-class difficulty I'm using is throwing up some great... this is how the start of the season went. We beat City 1-0 in a classic... classic sort of botch job at Wembley. Just
Smash
went in,
grab. Yeah.
Smash and grab against City in the Community Shield. I lost my season opener to Forest 2-1. Gabriel got sent off, red card as well to set things going. Then I think I won the next game, whoever we played second. Fulham beat me 4-0 at home at the Emirates. And I was like, fucking hell. Willian was on fire. Then I beat Man United 2-1. That was a close game. I beat Everton away. And last night I started the North London derby. I actually won 2-0. It was quite a comfortable win. But then I played Tottenham again 3 days later in the Carabao, and I played the reserves, and we lost 2-1. And then I kept drawing games after that. And it was and then City came along and pummeled me 3-0. Haaland hat trick. Every time he got the ball, it was just boom, goal.
Where are you in the table then? Where are you in the table?
I think we're 6th right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, and United is 7th, I think. So I finished the stream with a 2-1 win at St James's against Newcastle. That was actually a big win. So
it's been good. It's been good fun.
Nice.
I tell you, I'm really enjoying it, Cultured. I am, and I'm playing a little foot in the background. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. Part of it is that I don't know if EAFC 24 is a really good game or it's just a good game because the last 2 years have been absolute shite for football games.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying having a football game to play, which I'm enjoying at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've missed playing a football game on the stream a lot. And all the banter that ensues from it and all the rest of it, I've missed that a lot. So I'm definitely gonna. I can't wait to continue this. I'll do that tomorrow if it wasn't for people messaging me saying, "Oi, where's your F1 Manager episode?"
Right.
So because there's some people that really like
change your camera angle, mate. Change your camera angle, mate. Change your camera angle, mate.
People coming in on FIFA with their. I'm going to call it FIFA, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't help it. Always will be. People coming in and saying, "What? Why are you using that camera angle?" Well, because I fucking want to. B, this is career mode. So yeah, I'm going to put a timed post up. Cultured. It was Cultured's idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a timed post up that explains why I'm using this camera angle. Because I'm using it's broadcast.
Oh, broadcast.
So it's closer, right? Because if you play online, you want it further out so you can see more of the pitch, right? For runs and what have you. By playing broadcast cam, one of the things I love the most about it is, depending on the stadium, it's in a slightly different elevation. So it changes from game to game. Secondly, you don't see as much of the pitch, so you have to, you'll make more mistakes because you'll make passes that the guy wasn't where you thought he'd be. So it leads to more stuff happening and not just you passing your way from one end to the other without any kind of incident. Do you know what I mean?
It's not a snooze fest, basically.
Yeah, because once you become proficient at any football game, you can work your way from one end to the field to the other. And FIFA always used to be like that, didn't it? It always used to be just you'd run up the other end, shoot, miss or score. They'd run up there. It would just literally go like that with no very rare change of possession. Now there's a lot of interceptions, and the sliders that I'm using are really helping that too. I'm really enjoying it. I got to be honest. Somebody did accuse me of being 60-year-old yesterday. They said, "Can tell you're 60 because you're using this camera."
The winter beard is in.
I know that it's coming off actually because it's bugging me.
I hope I have like a full white. You think you'll ever go? You have like Ron White, just full on white.
I don't know.
Father Christmas it when the twins are older.
It's a lot whiter underneath now and here, but it's still a bit salt and pepper, The wife likes it.
Perfect for Santa Claus, mate, when the twins get older.
I know. Right. The wife's a big fan, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to go, chaps.
Yes. Ready.
Midday.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Well, don't go before you hear the joke, Cultured.
Oh, yeah. What's the joke? Very quickly then, yeah.
All right, you'll like this one. Well, you probably won't. That's the whole point. What is the best place to shop for a football shirt in the USA? New Jersey.
Oh, God.
That's good. That's good, actually.
Unbelievable. Carl's going to nick that. That's going to be the family joke when he meets up with his family.
That's a good one.
Right, excellent. Right, cheers, guys.
Good night, man.
I heard one. Speech in a bit.
What was it?
I'll stick around for your joke. Go on.
Why can't you ever catch a pterodactyl going to the bathroom?
Don't know.
Because the P is silent.
I like that one.
A family member told me that one. That's pretty good.
That's good. I like it.
I gotta eat dinner as well, Mordecai. Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
See ya.
Amen. All right, chat. Thanks for joining. We'll play the song out. Because it's a fossil. Good night, Banana. Good night, Castle. Good night, Greg. Good night, Mordecai. Good night, Lurkers.